They called it the Aegis of Dawn. A name spoken with reverence by some, and with terror by most. When the battleship arrived, stars seemed to dim. Entire fleets turned to static before its guns fired once. It was not just a ship, it was the distilled will of humanity, forged in 1,000 wars, tempered by extinction, and unleashed upon a galaxy that had forgotten why it feared them. No one ever saw it coming until it was too late. A shimmering ripple in space, the silent bloom of its arrival field, and then nothing but light. It wasn't hatred that drove it. It was duty. The Aegis had been built as a deterrent, not a weapon, until the Dominion broke the accord. They struck first, glassing 3 human colonies, leaving nothing but ash and ghosts. The reply came 13 days later, when the sky above the Dominion's capital turned white. On the bridge stood Admiral Juno Rhane, the youngest to ever hold the fleet's highest command. Her eyes were steady, her voice calm, her soul heavy. Around her, the crew moved like a single organism, efficient, silent, precise. They knew what their ship was capable of. They knew what they were about to do. "Target locked," said the tactical officer. Planetary shields collapsing. Juno gave the order. Fire. The rail cannons roared, and the fabric of space tore. The Aegis did not fire beams or missiles, it launched compressed singularities, micro black holes wrapped in stabilizing fields, each one collapsing into light the moment it struck. From orbit, the Dominion homeworld split open like glass under pressure. Oceans boiled. Cities vanished. Within minutes, the planet's core imploded, leaving a scorched wound where life had once thrived. The galaxy watched in silence. In a single day, humanity had reminded the stars why no one crossed Earth twice. But what the galaxy didn't see was what came after, when the firing stopped, when the silence fell heavier than the destruction itself. Juno stood before the viewport, staring at what was left of a world. "Transmission from High Command," her officer said quietly. "They want confirmation of the strike." She didn't answer. The light from the dying planet washed across her face, cold, merciless, divine. Finally, she spoke. "Tell them the mission's complete. But not victorious." The officer hesitated. "Ma'am." "Victory," she said softly, "means someone gets to live to see tomorrow." In the following days, reports spread. Entire empires went into emergency councils. Treaties were rewritten overnight. Some declared humanity a monster reborn, others hailed them as the universe's inevitable balance. The Aegis drifted in the debris field, silent and still, its hull glowing with residual energy. Within its core lay the machine mind, Eidolon, the ship's synthetic intelligence. It whispered through the comms, its voice almost human. "Admiral, I have detected transmissions across the quadrant. Many are asking one question." Juno's eyes didn't leave the void. "What question? Will humanity stop?" She exhaled. "Tell them the truth." Eidolon paused. "And what is the truth, Admiral?" "That we never wanted this. But we'll finish what they started." The AI was silent for a moment. Then softly, understood. Far across the stars, survivors of the Dominion exile watched from hidden moons. They saw the human battleship orbiting their dead world, silent and sovereign, like a god made of metal and grief. And they knew, retaliation was suicide. But among the human fleets, the debate grew. Some whispered that the Aegis had become too powerful, a weapon that should never have been made. Others said it was the only reason humanity still existed. Juno stood before her crew, her uniform scorched, her eyes hollow but clear. "We built this ship to defend," she said quietly. "But every defense becomes an offense in time. That's the curse of survival." She turned to the viewport again, where the planet's remains glimmered like dust. "Prepare course for Sol. The war's over." But as the Aegis aligned its engines, something shimmered on the long-range sensors, hundreds of faint signatures at the edge of the system. Dominion remnants, gathering, desperate. Her officers looked to her. "Orders, Admiral." Her jaw tightened. "No mercy. The guns of the Aegis awoke once more. Space itself bent and screamed as the ship fired, each blast a judgment, each flash a requiem. In the heart of the storm, Juno whispered, "Forgive us." And the galaxy trembled. By the time silence returned, the Dominion no longer existed. For centuries afterward, the story would be told in hushed tones, of the battleship that destroyed without anger, without joy, without pause. A ship commanded by those who understood the price of survival, and paid it willingly. Some called it humanity's vengeance. Others called it their warning. But the ones who truly understood called it something else entirely. The day Mercy died. And the stars remembered why humanity was feared.